учиться. Поэтому, когда у нее родилась маленькая дочка, то есть
And welcome back to CHNC.
What's up, what's
What's
up?
up? Today is July 29th, 2017.
Is it?
I am Tyler. Is it?
Yeah,
I hope so.
it is.
I don't know what a calendar is.
Oh,
Hopefully the date remains
Yeah,
constant.
yeah. So we have a few people out of town, regulars. Kyle and Broog will not be joining us today, but we have two guest stars. Why don't you introduce yourselves?
I am McKenzie Spots. I grew up with one of the members, Mr. Colin O'Baniel,
oh yeah.
longtime friend. I am a gardener. I work for the family business. I like to call myself a change maker. I like to hustle, whatever
Hell
that
yeah, dude.
means. So,
What is
that's
your
who I am.
primary form of hustle?
Well, it's meeting human beings and figuring out what they need, whether that's plants, whether that's
Yeah.
yep.
So
Lance.
you're Morgan Freeman from Shawshank Redemption.
Yes.
Yeah,
It's
basically.
good to know. It's good to know.
Exactly.
It's good to know.
Yeah.
And returning from last week, we have.
Mr. Yanni Tall.
There we go.
I didn't know you were. I was waiting for a cue.
Yeah, we enjoyed our we enjoyed the episode last week so much. We had another vacancy and we brought him back. So keep this up, and you might be part of the cast completely.
Oh well, thanks
Yeah,
guys.
yeah,
Thank you
yeah.
for having me. That was
The
really
voice so nice. We've done it twice.
Yeah. So
Twice in a row too.
Yeah.
I really appreciate it. Yeah, I'm back, and it's really good to be back. Thank you.
so
Oh yeah.
as we said before, it's July 29th. We're closing out the month. It's another weird day in Indiana. Saturday.
Beautiful day.
About
was a
midday.
nice day out.
Yeah. We're having a good time drinking some beers.
For sure.
And well,
Looking
guys, what's been going on since the last time you were here? And I know since McKenzie hasn't been here ever, why don't we start with you and what's going on in your life? Any good stories?
You know, that's a great question. As I ponder my noodle, my cadoodle.
Noodle. I like that.
Have you had noodles and company recently?
I have not had noodles in
makes
company
sense.
right now. I had some chicken pesto.
You know, some
recently.
people go for the standard noggin, talking about their headscape, and then some people go for noodle. It might be a regional thing, but I like noodle.
It's very much like soda and
Is
pop.
it? Yeah, it is like a soda and pop.
Yeah, I didn't consider that. There are different
Yeah.
regions
Yeah.
that words are formed in.
Yeah.
I feel like noodle's good though. It like simplifies the playing field.
Yeah.
It's not like, man, I was
Absolutely.
talking about my brain today and it gets super intense.
Because
Yeah.
you don't want to be that douche that says cranium. What an idiot.
It's like, where are you from? Oh my
Are you a
gosh.
doctor? No, then shut up.
Well, that's a game too, you know. Some people may be confused. Like, yo, man, you want to play cranium? Like, nah, man. I'm talking about my noodle.
I'm talking about my noodle.
Talking about my noodle.
I don't think in the history of ever has anyone sat down and said, yeah, let's play Cranium. Do you guys remember that game?
You don't know my family.
And then taking
Oh.
this one step further, you
Let's-
say, instead of playing cranium, I want to play noodle.
Of course,
that
of course,
sounds
of
like
course.
something totally different.
Yeah,
It's
that's
not
weird.
fun.
I don't think this is that kind of
weird.
club, man.
That's
No.
that's a whole nother party.
Yeah, that is a whole nother party. It gets late too and things get weird.
Yeah.
So anything good happen?
Anything at all, man, since we kind of
You know-
took that from you?
As we went on a tangent here.
Oh, it's totally fine.
well,
that's
that's
half the
awesome.
podcast.
Yeah.
This week was fun for me because we've for the family biz we've launched a production flower farm.
Okay.
So we've been just testing out things really just to get how to get flowers in people's hands. So I'm definitely my brain likes to work in business sense and it likes working at numbers. So just
Yeah.
trying to see like what's that next step. You know, I'm trying to think of things that were funny this week.
I mean, that's fine. We could just ask you about the business.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
That's cool. Like, so you're more of a front office guy and less of a gardener?
Do both. Definitely
Yeah.
do both.
Okay.
I'm in the office for a couple days. I definitely wear that cap. I do a lot of the operational things, so like even from invoicing, payroll, run the books, and then just making overall strategy decisions for the future of the business. But Then on top of that, it's like I said, there's this new venture that we're working on, which is a production flower farm,
Yeah.
and it's working beside our companies. It's a service base, so we go out there and help homeowners like solve solutions on their property. So this is a more kind of creative, like very different approach for us, where like it's almost selling a widget for us, where we generally sell a service package. So it's like much
Cool,
different.
cool.
That's kind of that
That's
hustle
dope.
piece too. It's
Yeah.
like,
That's really cool.
wish
So,
we-
would you say that you directly affect your community, like
Oh,
with
yeah.
like your
Oh, yeah, for
flowers
sure.
and stuff like that, and then people can start up their own gardens? Have
Yeah.
you seen that, or like,
yeah, and that's really like the service has been there. You know, my dad started it 15 years ago, so we've been helping solve like things for a long time, and we're very niche. So like we can help you like prune orchards or launch a permaculture or it's anything. We do high-end pruning. You know, it's very it's boutique and almost botanical, but this flower farm side helps us kind of get into the community a different way, because people can just like to buy flowers.
Oh yeah, for
That's
sure.
really cool.
Yeah, and it's kind of like, it gets emotional in a way too. It's like, oh, it's like I went and bought these flowers with my daughter or my son, and they chill out in your house for a period of time. So that's where it's
Yeah.
been different. It's a different approach for us entirely.
That's awesome,
Yeah,
man.
so it's
Yeah,
really
that's
cool.
cool.
Yeah, and that's part of the hustle too. It's like, you want to buy 5 sunflowers, and it costs this, instead of you want a garden installed for $10K. You know,
Yeah,
it's a
yeah, for
very
sure.
A
different.
little bit
it's a very-
different.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very different approach. So,
I mean, hey, I know our listeners haven't seen the state of our gardens, but we have a pretty terrible looking set of gardens around our house.
I did that garden myself, so
So
I'll tell you.
Oh man,
it's all natural here.
it's
all natural.
it's getting heated over flowers in the studio. I don't know if anyone can see this right
How
now.
dare you?
Colin just took out a knife. I'm scared for my life. You can't talk about Colin's gardens, brother. Hey.
I'm gonna take you to town, brother.
Yo.
Oh
So, yeah, it's a good week though. It's a beautiful week.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. We got some late rain this week, but other than that, it was pretty solid.
What about you, Jan? What's been up in the world of Tullican since last we talked?
Working. If we're going to talk about jobs, I under HIPAA can't talk about this particular center that I work for, but I do work.
Just generalize.
Yeah, I'll just generalize it. I just work at a autism center. I just work with kids. I love it. It took me a while to sort of get comfortable because
yeah.
obviously it's a constantly changing. Like,
Yeah, that's a hard
yeah.
thing to get into for sure.
Right,
Yeah.
for sure.
much so.
And I think I've found a pretty good groove, considering going back to school for it, and continuing it further. But I really like the kids I work with. And I did want to mention this because I have a small tie-in with your garden situation. The kids love to garden. We've got one on the playground.
Oh, sweet.
And they actually,
Wouldn't
as
have
part
guessed
of their, I know, and as part of their program, they actually manage the garden and do different things to make sure that everything germinates properly and you
that's
get
what's
a
up.
good crop for
That's
the
what's
summer.
up.
It's really cool, and
Yeah.
they work really well with each other and make sure they stay on watering schedules and stuff like that because. In general, kids with autism are very schedule oriented.
Right,
So,
right.
if anyone should be managing a
Yeah,
garden,
yeah.
it should be these kids, and
Yeah.
they do a great job. So
Yeah.
that's
what's up.
just something that I've noticed lately when I've been out on the playground. It's really cool, and
That's great.
I mean, I think this is really funny because I don't think anybody expected this to be kind of wholesome starting out, but we're talking about flowers,
It's
we're
different.
talking about kids,
Oh, yeah.
and I love
Communities,
it.
flowers, and kids.
Yes.
I love
Yeah,
it.
right.
I was just like, this is fantastic. Now let's ruin everyone's days. What's up? Yeah. What's gonna go down?
NPR would love this.
That's right. Up until this point.
Yes. Let's screw some things up, folks.
What about you guys, the regulars?
I guess if we stay on this work-related kick, I guess I've started in a new position in my job. I'm running the shipping department now, which is a change of pace. It's a lot of work. It was a little overwhelming at first, but it's definitely something that keeps me busy, and I like the feeling that I get of my work ethic getting higher and higher. I can feel myself getting to be the person where I get home and I'm not somebody who just wants to go
bust
play
out.
video games. And yeah.
Oh, really?
Absolutely.
Oh,
'Cause
really?
I did. But
So let me come in here real quick. Hey, kid. I don't know if you know this, but I haven't
I
had a
watch
whole lot
Netflix.
going on lately. And my door is directly close to where you watch TV until 2,
do.
3 a.m.
Oh,
Well,
man.
okay.
Well, okay.
Don't heat.
Before
come at
we
my garden first.
All right, yeah, exactly. Before we take the argument from garden to video games, I will say this: I play with Mr. Gaudreau over here on a
All
daily
the time.
basis, and so
Yep.
there's a little bit of hostility there. We're gonna bounce back at the
Just a little bit.
just a little bit, and we're gonna bounce back at the television watching.
Yeah.
So
Hey, let's watch some gay porn until 3 a.m.
Yeah, that's me.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Hey, whatever you're into.
No,
man.
it's an invitation.
Right
Not
after
actually.
Conan.
Oh
on
no, you just want to
TBS.
do that.
There's some incredible gay porn directors out there, folks. Like there's some talent.
They
I'm
work
assuming-
hard.
Yeah, West Coast.
The
like,
Revenant was my
man.
favorite.
That's amazing.
I did not expect that. That's amazing. The Revenant was part of it. That bear scene.
Oh, God.
Wow, who directed that?
Really
Who
gets
directed
it
that
going.
part?
Oh,
Yeah.
he just
Oh,
mauled
man.
right in.
There's so
there.
much blood
man.
everywhere. Okay.
Wow.
So, flowers, kids, gay porn, Revenant.
Yes.
Where are
Yeah.
we going with this? I
whole-
love
So-
it. I'm on a roller coaster.
If that line of stories didn't tell you, we're gonna be talking about music today.
Yeah,
So
we went from flowers to gardening to gay porn. I mean, that was just the logical next step,
this,
right?
This
Easy to
segue
guess.
was perfect. This is
There
a
really is no
perfect
other
segue.
step. Yeah.
I mean, we're sorry for being so predictable, listeners. So we thought this week we would talk a little bit about the music scene, since we're all heavily influenced by that, and that's not so just much like our every generation, human beings.
Yeah, for sure.
Not to get too weird, but
Right.
enjoy music. And well, there's a lot that goes into it.
Yeah,
And everyone is influenced by what they kind of grew up listening to. And there's some events that have happened recently in the music scene that I'd like to bring up, but also I'd like to start with where do you come from on a musical basis?
Oh,
What was
yeah.
your growing up like recognizing me? What is the first time that you didn't like just listen to something on the radio or listen to something that your parents were listening to?
Oh, well, you really
were-
found your own.
You found your
Yeah.
own genre or
Yeah,
kick
for sure.
that you got into.
Yeah, because I guess that's a very good point. Because I mean, if I'm being honest, like I started off musically just listening to like whatever my dad did.
Yeah.
Obviously, I feel like a
oh,
lot of
for
people
sure.
do.
See, I'm the complete opposite.
Oh, that's so
Like
interesting.
my dad,
Your dad listened
is-
to whatever you listened to.
no, that would actually be the complete opposite. So
Yeah.
let me rephrase my answer.
yeah.
My dad is in love with the Beatles.
Yeah.
And I not that I don't like the Beatles, but I've never felt a drive to listen
Gotcha.
to the Beatles. So
Yeah.
That's
it's
fair.
different.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
That's fair.
So that whole
That's
kind
classical.
of genre of 60s, 70s, I'm just not really into.
Yeah, I mean, I got really into like Led Zeppelin because of that and stuff like that. I guess there was some stuff that my dad listened to, like Elvis Presley and stuff like that, where I really didn't like follow into as much, or like
Absolutely.
country music. I don't know, but yeah, I mean, I definitely enjoyed what I heard from Led Zeppelin, and then I guess that turned into listening to Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Led Zeppelin to Chili Peppers. We've all been there.
Yeah, it's all there.
Transitory.
It's all there. It's that funk. It's that funk bass line, all that good stuff. And I don't know, it just like, I guess that sort of funk and that soul and jazz type, like rock music
Yeah, that's
transitioned into 90s hip hop for me and stuff like that. So,
Well, and
yeah.
what I think is so cool is that we have a bunch of different perspectives in the room already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, as Tyler probably knows, my dad.
Classical.
I know.
Oh,
He
To a
was
T.
heavily involved with classical music.
Oh, wow.
Orchestral music. He was the artistic administrator at a number of symphonies.
Oh,
and
cool.
we've been all over the country as we grew up.
very cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Just all these different places.
Yeah.
And I'm not just talking about Mozart and Beethoven as like, the listener is probably like familiar with. We're talking
Yeah.
about Brahms. We're talking about like Chopin. I mean, other like
Right, right, I
because
follow.
obviously you've got a monopoly in
Yeah.
everything in life,
Yeah.
but you've also got your guys that little guys, the guys that pull through. Anyway,
Brahms really a little guy?
I was gonna, as I was singing, I was like, God, if my dad was listening to this, he would slap me across the face. like there's about 700.
Brahms?
Yeah. Brahms, little, please. No. And, oh, by the way, my dad is not from Europe. He's not from Europe. I just put on that like air because it just seemed like the appropriate thing to. Yes, right.
That's that classic dad voice.
Yeah. Brahms, strawberry,
Brahms?
please.
How dare you?
Right, exactly.
All dads are a little European.
Except for the ones that aren't for some reason. I don't know. Getting back to it.
You just can't go back. Don't.
We just need to pull forward. No, what I'm trying to say is that he sort of instilled in me like this thing to just sort of like really go for like the cream of the crop. Like I've always been a person who doesn't just go along with like a trend in music.
Right.
I'll go more to like, an original sound or an original style. And
for
by
sure.
no means is classical my favorite form of music either, my favorite genre.
Yeah.
It's just that like the ear that he had where he was like, I'm not just going to accept your orchestral music as the best.
Yeah.
Like I'm going to actually isolate what I like about it, analyze it, see what's up with it, like really like hitting it at like the fine points of music. So
because when you really dive into it, like and think about all the parts that create a piece, a song, like and you hear those different moments, like there's a purity to that, and especially in classical, you get all those different instruments working together.
Don't you think it's kind of weird though? Your dad was like Led Zeppelin. My mom was Def Leppard.
Yeah.
That was Beatles. His was classical.
Yeah.
His mom was even a violinist, Yanni.
Right, exactly. And he still is,
So it's like completely different.
Oh yeah,
Which
and
really
I would say our parents are all relatively the same age.
Yeah. What about you, Mick?
I was gonna say, like, I grew up listening to, and very similar to you, it's like my dad was a rock and roll dude.
Yeah.
But it was across the board, like from Led Zeppelin to, we listened to a lot of like alternative like rock.
Yeah.
I don't want to say mellow, but it's like Guster, Carbon Leaf, Death Cab for Cutie before they were big.
See, that's so modern. It's completely
but
opposite.
it was modern. Yeah. So and that's what I listened to.
But your dad was just that type of person that like kept current instead of like staying with the music he listened to as a kid.
What was interesting, as like, I remember him geeking out about like when playlists are like, you could start to stream music. Like when Yahoo, I think, started to stream music, and he could just like, it was basically a radio, and that's how he got a ton of this modern music.
For sure.
It's just all these random bands got all this airtime, and it's like, that's what. So I was very heavily influenced by that. And then really the other half of me was learning music, riding the bus to school. We had an hour every single day.
Oh wow.
R&B, rap, like that's like funk, like that's where all that huge piece that is basically where I'm at like right now. That's kind
really
of the stepping stone was like the hour ride to and from school.
I was going to say,
for years.
We grew up, Yanni and I went to the same high school, and you two.
That's true.
What's your name, Colin? Colin.
Yeah, we went to the same
what's your
high
name?
school, too.
And you guys went to the same high school, so we come. I mean, our schools weren't that far apart, but we have very different backgrounds.
Yeah.
Where ours
absolutely.
was a lot more rock and roll and modern. Yours was a lot more R&B and rap. Funny to
Probably.
think
A lot
about,
of rap. Yeah.
But
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
That's the vibe that I was getting too. And then like that bus like thing that you were talking about like brought me back, because I feel like people would just freestyle on the bus every once in a while.
yeah.
Not to get weird or anything, but like people would like slam on like the bus seats because they had this sort of. And this is what's so great about like life in general is you can find percussion wherever you go.
For sure.
Anywhere,
You
for
literally,
sure.
Oh yeah, like literally the bus seat and the way the fabric had like that divot. In it
Yeah.
too,
Mhm.
you
Yeah,
know
it
what I
did
mean?
always
Like,
had that
It had
divot.
that little divot in the middle, and so when you hit it, it would give it a nice little like pop, pop, like back, you know.
Yeah,
And so
different
like
sound.
so everybody, there'd be one guy who didn't know lyrics that would always be doing that, you know. He'd be like, take it from here, man, and like it's just.
Yeah.
silly, you know what I mean?
that's kind of what I was leaning towards.
Exactly,
Like,
yeah.
Yeah, because my most vivid memory about high school was bus rides, definitely. And, But we grew up just in the age where CDs were starting to die off, but computers were advanced enough where you could pirate music and burn your own CDs.
Yeah, and
I
we
remember
were
vividly.
at the beginning stages of like iPods and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. So
Yeah.
right before
Yeah,
my
all that
family was
music.
like enough to buy an iPod, which
Yeah.
was an expenditure.
yeah,
We would burn illegal CDs.
yeah.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
we'd never pirated. They were compilations of CDs.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
I don't know. I
LimeWire.
don't know what LimeWire or FrostWire is.
I knew exactly where this was going.
Damn,
But-
I was actually
LimeWire,
gonna say
dude,
LimeWire.
that's
I would
Throwback.
expect them to have destroyed most of our family's computers if
Yeah.
someone had been using those.
We've all been
Right.
there.
I wouldn't know.
Sometimes it's pirating, sometimes
mean,
it's other things.
That was the digital revolution for me. Was really the beginning of exploring music.
Oh yeah.
I remember the first CD that I made had that song from Ice Age
Okay.
where he's like bombed away.
Man.
You dropped an Ice Age track.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Okay, so that's
Lift
amazing.
Me up where
I went high on myself.
or say you're right.
road.
Bombed away.
And then you literally could pull out one word.
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
literally road, I think. Like
I don't-
I heard road, and I was like, road. Yes, I know that.
I don't know the name of the song. I don't know who
the
sang
rest.
it. But I remember like that was the beginning of the music that I ever listened to.
That movie was inspiring, by the way.
Did you guys ever do CDs or like custom
Ice Age
mixes?
changed my life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's who I am who I am today.
Because of
of
Sid the
Ice Age.
Sloth. Yeah.
Yeah, yes, because of the sloth and that squirrel tweaking out all the time.
That guy was a
my God.
tweaker. Oh
Yeah.
my goodness.
I don't know what he
Wow.
was on.
Yeah, he was on something crazy.
Man, I have aged to my mid-20s, and I have not yet made the correlation. He has been tweaking.
Yes.
That's exactly what he was
Yes.
doing
I
the
mean,
entire
he lost
time.
That
yeah.
that nut is an addiction, and
Yes.
he's trying to get it the whole time.
Gotta get that nut.
Yeah.
But yeah, I never really made CDs.
You never made them at all?
Never, like, maybe one or two.
Yeah.
Like we weren't rich enough to afford iPods right away. So we very much had the dollar store Walkman CD players, which is
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah,
a
I
nice
remember my
one.
Walkman
I actually
for sure.
remember
Mine
my
was
Walkman as
mine
well.
was white and lime green. And
Oh,
I would listen to it
nice.
in study hall. And
I had a
the
blue
girls
one.
were just fawning over me as I sat
Dang,
there.
man.
Yeah.
I
I bet the
remember,
girls
yeah.
were chirping.
I remember like 7th grade trip to London, like having to carry on like this just fucking carrier case of CDs.
That's all you had.
For
That's
sure,
all
had a
you
carrier
had.
case. Yeah.
No,
Smash Mouth, man. I had
Yeah, yeah.
Smash Mouth in that
Everywhere
carrier
in
case.
Smash Mouth.
No, I mean,
Bare
it's
naked
okay.
ladies.
It's
Seriously,
okay to
it's a
say
bare
that.
naked
Smash.
ladies, yes.
Yeah. No, I mean, I remember I would try to take walks with my dog with my Walkman. I know this has been talked, ad nauseum, but when you had your
About your dog?
Walkman,
Yeah, fucking hate your
my
dog.
Fucking dog. It's been on every talk show. Letterman was like, "Please welcome Roxy."
Yanni's dog.
These dogs. Roxy, look at how cute that coat is. Whoa. No, but the Walkman thing. You're walking with the Walkman. It skipped. 21st century. Huh?
Yeah.
That sort of thing. So I glory to the iPod, honestly.
Yeah.
Well, and the
Right.
first time you dropped your CD player, just
Right.
like, no.
Yeah, no, you could do nothing.
$20.
with that.
Exactly.
That was such a bad feeling.
No,
But
It happened a lot because it was oblong and it was
It was
heavy
weird.
for its
It's shaped like a
size.
Right.
disc.
Well, and what's
A
so
little bit
funny
slick
is
too,
right, exactly, because we were moving from analog to digital at that point. I mean, I
Right.
know
For sure.
CDs are digital. We
Yes,
get that.
yeah,
But
yeah.
there are components in
Right.
a CD player
Yeah.
that you could consider
Yeah, yeah.
analog. And
Still
so
analog.
it's such a weird time.
Wow.
So you're sitting to list you know what I mean though. Like there's an actual like laser diode and there's stuff going on.
Diode.
Ooh.
The word for today.
He said it. Elma, what's our word for today?
Your word is diode.
No, you're right. But the point I'm trying to make is that just you're in between these two mediums.
Yeah.
I mean, you're
Wow,
you're
no
we're-
one could have predicted the iPod.
right, but like it's just sort
Steve
of.
Jobs could.
Steve Jobs could.
Yeah.
I just thought it was such a weird time to just be growing up with like crystal clear music because
yeah.
CDs had.
Yeah.
It was perfect.
Yeah.
But like
It's high
and
quality.
It was high quality.
Yeah.
But you've got the medium that you're listening to it through
Yeah.
was so
Changing everything.
Yeah, changing everything. Yeah, that's fantastic.
Including headphones too. Headphones have come such a long
Oh,
way.
It's
yeah.
At that
weird.
point-
Yeah.
It went from over the ear,
Yeah.
kind of behind the head wraparounds,
Oh,
to to everyone had to have the buds.
Yep.
Exactly.
And then now it's this weird dilemma where you can have the buds, and everyone does have a pair of buds too. If you don't have a pair of cans,
Right.
studio-esque headphones or Beats,
Them Dre's.
you're a
Yeah.
loser, man.
You're a loser, man. You gotta have
Nothing.
both.
Yeah, you don't listen to music well
It's
enough.
crazy, like too, like how far buds have gotten, even because
sure.
like even this new Apple headphone, like
To
those.
actually fit in your ears.
Yeah, well, yeah, they fit comfortably more, but they also those little things have 2 speakers in them in each ear.
Oh, really?
Like, yeah. So you get the highs and lows just like you would in Beats,
Wouldn't
but like
easily.
they fit that in like buds now. That's insane.
Inch.
And you
It's
paid
incredible.
$600 for those Beats, Colin. Boy, aren't
I
you a
did not.
corporate
I did
slave?
not at all.
Jeez.
Haven't you heard that it's all about the levels with Beats? You can replicate it. No, I'm just kidding. I actually don't know.
They're
if Beats are
$50
better
from
or not.
China, by the way.
The B is backward.
yes.
They're brays.
They're
Yes. They're deets.
I mean, that's the thing.
Yeah.
If you can get over the fact that those were made with whips and chains, then
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
you're good.
everything
You
I
just
own.
take
is-
it from there.
Yes.
And this
I
is
don't
what
buy
bring to the
stuff
podcast.
unless I
I'll bring
have-
things down to the lowest common denominator.
I don't buy it unless it's made with whips and chains, man. All day.
here's
It's gotta be.
here's a good question, gentlemen. Do you remember what was your first Apple listening device and what color was it?
Oh, absolutely.
So I had the original iPod Classic. It wasn't called the iPod
the
Classic
big
at the time.
square?
It wasn't the
The
one.
white
The
thing?
original one they had the circle and the play, pause, and
Right,
stop
right.
buttons.
Right,
Yep.
exactly.
The second generation of that was just the wheel. I remember I had that. But I didn't really like it. Like, I didn't appreciate it for what it was
Yeah.
because at the age of whatever I was, even though we've been talking about this for so long, I didn't have enough songs to warrant the need
Yeah.
for 80
Exactly.
gigs or whatever they came out with
Exactly.
originally.
I remember like when I asked my mom for one, I was like, "Oh, I'll only need like this many gigs because I don't need that many songs." And then I got that many songs. I was like, "I need so many more songs."
Yeah.
Like I have so much of a playlist on my iTunes.
That's interesting. I
Yeah.
said the same thing to my mom when she got me.
When you
Smash-
bought a Zune?
When I bought, yes, we'll talk about this in a second. But
Where is Zune today, folks?
yeah, exactly. They're in my pocket. Honestly, that's the entire organization, right? No, I said the same thing to my mom when she got me an N64 Smash Bros. And I'm like, I do not require another game system for the rest of my life. I'm just
Yeah.
going to be playing this with my brother. This is going to be it. And what's so funny is, let alone did I not analyze the fact that I would need other games, you
Yeah.
know, and better games in the future, but they
Right.
would come up with a better Smash Brothers or
Right.
an updated
Yeah.
one for the next console. So
Yeah.
things keep updating and changing.
Yeah.
But the Zune comment, I did have a Zune.
He-
But before that,
High school was great. Everyone else had their iPods and iPod Nanos.
No,
And
guys.
Here comes Yanni with the Zune. Like, guys, you're idiots. This is the future.
yeah, I think that was actually what I said. And then on top of that, as you know, the stock showed the trends that
Yeah.
we all knew to be the case.
Clearly.
And clearly,
Yeah.
one way. I doubled down. I didn't back off. I doubled down. I was like, guys, you
Second
don't
generation
understand.
Yeah.
You don't understand. This plays videos. Sure, it's 240.
Yeah.
Something
Something
120.
weird. Yeah.
120.
It's not even in focus.
Yeah, it's not even
It's
in
a
focus.
Half-inch by half-inch square screen.
For
and
sure. Microsoft knows what they're doing. I play Halo. This has got to be good.
Yes.
You know?
Microsoft knows what they're doing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was not good. Not a good
They tried,
scene.
though.
They tried, and that's what counts.
Yes.
You know?
You know.
And now they're both like blown out of the water because if you own a phone, that's
That-
where it is.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
it's
that's
funny
where it
because
is.
I used to own an iPod Touch and
Right.
like that was the phone
was
without
the first
phone.
one?
Yeah.
No, that wasn't
I
my
remember
first
you
one.
having
Yeah.
the touch.
Yeah,
And
but
that's-
like
yeah, that's what
I
everyone
had the
said.
touch. It was like, what was the point? It literally was the phone without a phone. Like
Well, before the
You
phone.
had that
Yeah.
Wi-Fi though.
yeah.
Do you
Connect to that Wi-Fi.
do you remember Cole Shane, Yanni?
Of course I
Do you remember
do.
the story? So every morning, Yanni and I in high school,
Mm-hmm.
we used to hang out at the lunch tables inside the lunchroom before class would start. We'd get at school early enough. 15, 20 minutes. We had a friend named Cole Shane. Now, Cole Shane's family was weird. Their mom and dad didn't really like each other that much, so they would each try to buy his love with gifts. So he
Sweet.
got an iPod Touch before everyone else.
Parenting grade A right there.
Now, our high school wasn't perfect by a long shot.
for sure.
It was a little bit better at the time, but
Ours was.
could have been better. The caliber of students was IPS sometimes.
Yes.
So Cole,
Sometimes.
so Cole is
that
sitting
to
at a
him.
lunch table between us, and we're all like, "Man, that's such a cool gadget that does everything that we already do with our iPods and Zune." And but you can download
heard that.
apps and play games in solitaire. This guy walks up to our table and goes, "Oh man, that's really cool. Can I see your iPod real quick?" And Cole's like, "Oh yeah, totally, for sure, man." And he takes out his headphones and just gives it to him. Kid immediately looks at it for like a second, half a second, and bolts just down the
Just
hall,
runs.
just sprints away.
I remember that day so
and
clearly.
then
too.
Cole was like 2 seconds, 3 seconds, 4 seconds, 5 seconds, just in shock, like what? And then gets
And
up
then
and
had to bolt,
chases
yeah.
after this guy.
Oh, you got
Oh,
it. Yeah.
and none of us left. We were just like, what just happened?
Yeah, we were all
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
and we
gonna
and he was our friend, so we
Yeah.
weren't gonna just sit there and just be like laughing, you know. At
Right.
You could.
Well, I mean, we could have, but like, I don't think we were those kids. You know,
Yeah.
we were basically the best kids in America, honestly.
Yeah.
Wow. Dang.
I'm
that's a
saying
statement
that
there.
right now on
Yes.
the internet. You know,
Boom.
No, but honestly, it was pretty crazy
So
when it happened.
It's weird.
Yeah, I don't know what
how
I
much
would
value
like.
is in that.
If that were you that got jacked, I don't know what I would do either.
Yeah.
I'd just be like, oh, that sucks.
Right? Yeah. You can work to another one.
Sorry,
I don't know.
bud.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. Bummer, man. Like,
Yeah.
I would just like yell something out to you as you ran towards him. I'd be
Hey,
like,
run faster!
I'd be like,
luck.
I'd be like, hit him with a chair.
He's getting away.
Hit him with the chair.
There goes your Celine Dion.
What are you gonna do in math class now? Anyway,
Seriously. What are you going to
ladies
do in
and
government
gentlemen,
class?
I think we are at
Yeah.
our halfway point right now. We're going to take a quick break and we will be right back with you. Please stay tuned because this is live. We are very appreciative that you tuned in today. See you soon. Bye. The square, the bottom.
And we're back from break. Ooh, yeah.
I don't think you listened to our our producer there.
Yeah.
You know, Sharon.
Yeah.
Sharon said 5 seconds. You didn't do 5 seconds, Colin.
Mr.
5 seconds?
Colin,
You don't need
remember,
5 seconds.
Mr. Colin, remember.
Well,
5
maybe
seconds.
the editor. The editor
I
would
did 5.
appreciate it if
I
you would
said-
give it 5 seconds.
I said 1, 2, 5, and then I went for it.
That's okay.
Oh, finish your intro.
That was my intro.
Dirtbag.
You're listening to the Cool Hats and Consistency, Bro and Lady Bros. I don't know.
There's no. We never had a woman on the podcast.
I know. I'm telling.
probably get
I'm
one.
saying you, bro, at home, and lady bros at home.
My name's
nice.
McKenzie. You're at least halfway there.
Yeah.
Well, the first time Colin talked
Think
about you, we thought you were the person he was cheating on with his girlfriend.
How do you know that's not true?
I mean, you still could, but it's not cheating if it's a gay relationship.
Is
You're allowed
it?
to have one straight or one.
Oh,
In our
that's
modern
interesting.
society,
I didn't know that.
He
Obama-
took it the other way. He took it
Obama
the other way.
died for our right to have one gay and one straight relationship.
Gosh. Okay, let's analyze that statement for a second.
Obama
Obama's
died.
currently alive. He hasn't come out on a gay agenda, and yeah, I think
Well,
we're at
in our
that.
military.
Name one agenda. Period.
He
Period.
picked.
In the statement.
He picked UConn to win the NCAA tournament. I don't know
Can you
how
blame
that's
him?
not a gay agenda. I don't.
As a man from Connecticut, I will silence you, sir. Silence.
Little do you know that Johnny will die for the Connecticut Huskies.
Literally, do you know that I've lived in every state for some reason? I can't even remember why. Yeah.
Well, Yanni is a war child. He's lived in Alabama, Alaska, Arizona, Arkansas,
You were
Arizona.
at war?
Can you do all this? Can you get there?
Okay. So here's the thing: we wanted to come back and talk about music, but now Tyler's going to try to.
But
name
now we're
all
trying to make a joke
50
about all the states.
all the
Yeah.
videos.
In elementary school, I learned a song
Yeah.
about all 50 states. I can't remember it. I could try because it's
try.
it's a-
Please
it's a
don't.
good song.
Yeah, so I guess we'll get back to the music.
Yeah,
Yeah.
We saved him.
Whatever
We
you
saved
say,
him.
Colin.
He's
Yeah.
a good friend.
So yeah, before break we were talking about like where we were as kids and teenagers with like iPods and stuff like that, and I just was thinking over break like where we are now with that, and it's kind of intriguing to see the stream universe that there is now, whether it's like Spotify or whether
SoundCloud.
it's Apple Music, stuff like that. Like you don't really buy music anymore. You just buy a subscription. Especially like
Weird.
yeah, and you have
Very
everything that streaming website offers at your fingertips. And I
iTunes
think
revolutionized the CD. And it's
Yeah.
instead of buying whole CDs, you buy one track at a time.
Yeah.
$1.99 or 99 cents.
Yeah, it's
and,
custom picking.
and in less than a decade, we've grown into it's not just one song at a time; it's all songs at a time.
yeah, whatever you want. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
For
that's
sure.
interesting. And it's one of those things like when you brought up this point, it made me think of like how if these like mediums don't exist in the
Right.
future, we want to think that they will relinquish the rights.
Oh,
to the
yeah,
music
yeah, exactly.
To you because you've bought them,
Yeah.
but
But you really haven't.
right, exactly.
Yeah.
And so it's one of those things where they could say, "Well, our service is terminated.
Yeah.
We don't have any money anymore. So see ya, bye bye." And then
Yeah.
literally you do not have the rights to the music that you purchased.
Yeah.
Whether it's, 10, 20 years down the line. And so it's one of those things where you say to yourself, this is a new interesting thing like that's come up in my life, like the fact that you can buy music easily on the internet. It's very quick and seamless through this interface, but you say to yourself that you just like don't know where it's going.
Yeah.
You don't know where we're
There's a lot of behind the
taking
scenes
this
stuff.
music.
For sure.
Yeah, for
Boys,
sure.
And
yeah.
now we're like, with iTunes, I'm an iTunes music guy. I will
Really?
stay
Still?
very much so
A
because
lot of people have fled that ship.
it's for me so far. It's just, I have total access to everything I want.
Yeah.
Like, and I've tried Spotify, but it's still just being an iPhone.
Are you talking
guy-
about Apple Music or?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Excuse me,
Yeah, yeah.
not iTunes, but like
Yeah.
Apple Music.
Okay.
More to the point of like, I pay a fixed fee each month
Right.
to have access to music. I don't even download it. most
Yeah,
of the
yeah,
time.
exactly.
that's
Now
exactly
we
the
have the
same as
choice
Spotify.
to.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, and no, and there's multiple like
Yeah.
platforms, Spotify.
And it's
Just
It's-
like that.
yeah, but it's just we have access to music. We're not
Yeah.
even like purchasing. Physical is
It's
gone.
so weird.
But
Yeah,
you could
it is
you could
weird.
download it if you wanted to.
but you don't
like,
even don't have to. Though.
Even
Right.
if you download it, it's
don't
just
have to.
offline play. You don't own the songs.
Right.
Yeah.
You haven't purchased the license.
Well, can you not?
Yeah.
Can you not transfer that to an iTunes account?
No.
No. Oh, okay. That's interesting.
You no
Can you
matter,
not?
No. If
I haven't
you
tried.
I
paid for-
haven't looked at that. Yeah.
as
that's
long
so
as
interesting.
as soon as you lose that subscription, as soon as you stop paying for it, you can't listen to those songs anymore.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it
very
takes
weird.
away that library.
Yeah.
It's
What's also odd is like the gal I'm dating. Her dad
Gal?
owns.
we'll start there.
The gal,
There's this random gal.
the lady.
I got a gal I'm talking to.
She's got the voice of an angel.
I'd like to kiss on the lips and say, how do you do?
She's
Say hi to
75.
her.
I would lay my coat down in a puddle fire.
Sorry, man, we're busting your balls.
Either way, she's 75 and goddamn, she's gorgeous. But her dad owns a record store,
Oh, cool.
so that's kind of come back.
too.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah.
That
Yeah,
fad has come back, and
The
it's,
vintage.
yes, it's vintage, but it's like it's
a
artistic
niche
too.
hobby.
It's a niche, and it's like
Yeah.
it's physical. You can grab this massive like record thing that has this cool art on the front of it.
Yeah.
And so it's like we have these very polar worlds where I can pay $9.99 a month individually for access to all the music,
Every music, every
Yeah.
ever
or
made.
I can go to
except
a
for
record
Taylor Swift. for some reason.
Except all that title bullshit. Yeah.
And Tidal, yeah.
Yeah.
Kanye's not on that anymore. Or
Yeah,
I can go to a record store and pay $9.99 for a
single-
record that I flip
One
over.
album. Yeah, one- yeah.
I have to flip
Yeah,
over, and
exactly.
I get some cool artwork,
And
and,
you
my
have
hippie
to-
friends think I'm cool.
Yeah.
You have to say or justify to yourself, well, is this worth the $9.99? And
Right.
in a reason, kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
In a hobby way, it's weird to see the resurgence of
Yeah.
of records, which was really officially a dead medium, and only the few nerdiest people were really hanging on to that as collectors of old time things, and then you just see this modern resurgence of shops like
Yeah.
what do you shop at? It's Urban Outfitters.
Urban Outfitters.
Completely
stuff like-
carrying
yeah.
that
Yeah.
modern day artist doing individual pressings of their CDs
for
and
sure.
digital.
That's
It's
interesting.
so interesting to see.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I'm not going to be the kind of guy.
It's
who-
artistic.
It's
Yeah.
artistic and it's
It's
interesting,
very
but
artistic.
For
it's
me,
so dumb.
for me, being someone who does buy records and stuff like that, I've always I got into it because of the sound quality. I think like
That's
that's it feels
negligible. It's when you pay the subscription fee to a streaming service, they give you the HD streaming. It's exactly the same.
right. I get that, but it does feel realer to me having that like needle like thread through the grooves and stuff like that. That's producing the music to me like that. I don't.
Well, it's
I
a
don't
different
know.
sound. It's
Yeah,
a different
yeah.
experience.
Right,
Really, it's a
right.
different experience too. Just
Yeah.
like, just buying a record, buying a CD. Like you have to physically go out of your way. Even if you're freaking on eBay, you click a button and that thing gets delivered to
Yeah.
you. You're physically going out of your way to almost support an artist.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
I
Yeah.
bought,
Because it's arguable whether or not the artists are actually getting paid for all those like
I'm sure they still
Spotify
get
or
a little,
iTunes
yeah.
subscriptions.
Yeah.
Tons of articles have come out over the last several years
Oh,
about
really?
how because they can't justify the exact number of listens and what that correlates to how much they should be paid, artists are receiving not that much from digital streaming services like
Oh well, I don't know how the pay goes, but as
it's
far
in
as like,
advanced. Let's
they-
not go too far into it.
Right.
I know that they do like
I've taken a semester of college on it. It's a
whole semester, folks.
Easy.
And so
Yeah.
you're an
This
expert.
guy is educated.
And then
I
I,
just-
decided not to take the advanced course.
Yeah.
Right.
I know
Didn't
that
take the advanced course.
they'll keep track of like
This man is educated. Though.
Well, and
I paid money.
It's one of those things where
Probably a lot.
everything that we're talking about has led us to the point of just whether you own the music
Yeah.
or you're allowed to listen
Right,
to the music.
right, for sure.
And the thing that has plagued me for a little bit is the fact that I will actually get accustomed to a sound of an artist
yeah.
and enjoy an album that they like, and then say, you know what, I'm going to download their stuff and give money to them because I like them. And then there's also the other, the other viewpoint where it's like, I want to listen to things that sound like this.
Yeah.
Pandora is going that way where it's like, oh, you like, R&B? I'm going to
Yeah.
give you XYZ R&B
Yeah,
singer.
yeah, for sure.
And you are inclined to like these sort of things.
Right.
And it's one of those things where I'm now in this point of view where I say to myself, okay, I like, house.
Mm-hmm.
Do I want them to
Great show,
curate?
great show.
Oh God, I like house.
You're fired.
You're done, sir.
I like Hugh Laurie. So,
Yeah.
for instance, I queue up Blackadder on Netflix and I just stream that.
Yeah.
It's from the '90s. I like it.
Yeah.
It's what it is.
Because we're 90s children.
We're '90s children. We like that
as
sort
much
of
as
thing.
we'd like to think that.
Yeah.
We're really more influenced by the early 2000s, which is just.
Yeah.
If you look back at the movies and the music of that,
Oh, yeah.
2000 and 2005, you're like, what is this weird fusion of 90s and
Yeah.
2010? I don't like it.
No, and that's the thing. Like I feel like, do I want my music curated for me?
Yeah.
Do I want them to tell me what I want?
Or do you want to go and
Or
explore?
do I want to find
Yeah.
the sound that I'm looking for? I'll name a band that a lot of people talk about, and it's not like a
Taylor
small
Swift.
one or whatever. Taylor Swift. She went
We've
from
all been
country to No, C2C. I don't know if you guys have heard of them.
I have not. No.
Oh, great. I mean, they have a few
Preach you
hits
the
on
Bible.
YouTube. For some reason, they're not higher, but they've got a few million hits. And nowadays it doesn't mean anything, but they have this sort of they're trying to bring back disc jockeying, like,
Oh, cool.
and they'll put like lyrics to it, they'll put vocals to it, they'll put all these different sounds to it and make it sound so original, and like it's not just like you're seeing a guy like scratch a disc
Right.
and then it's like that's all it is. They're trying to incorporate that into reggae and hip hop.
Oh, cool.
And it's just real. They have a really clear like sound.
It's
and
unique, too,
It's
yeah.
unique, yeah. They're doing something that like a lot of people have strived to do in the past, but then they're actually making it work.
Yeah.
And what I'm trying to say is, when I go onto a Pandora or a Spotify or something like that, I will isolate. I want to listen to C2C like songs, and what they'll give me is this stuff that's kind of like it, but like maybe I say to myself at the end of the day, you know what, I just want to stick with what I know, and I'll stick with the albums that I like. And so I don't know, I feel like that's an interesting point. Like, do we like our bands? Do we want to hear something similar to branch out, or what is this current like digital marketplace doing to us? What
Well,
do
it's
we
still
like?
it's still very immature too.
Oh yeah, we're
our
just in the
generation,
beginning,
we're very
yeah.
much like we've been the guinea pigs for
Very long time.
since
Yeah.
basically day one,
Yeah.
because we've grown up with all this new product, which is really web-based products, and then as it's web-based products that get smarter over time and figure out, Pandora requires us to give inputs. We say yes or no, thumbs up or thumbs down to something, and that generates a better product for us, a better listening experience for us. And you can tell that it's still just immature. Because you can put on a radio playlist and half of it's garbage. Like, I don't want to listen to any of this. Like, nope. Like, but then you can hop. Once I'll relate it back to Apple Music, where I can hop in and pick whatever I want. But then you can also get lost in that. Like, I'm trying to listen to
That's
this song,
interesting, yeah.
and I
Well,
spend
they've been
5 minutes
innovating
searching
for a
this
while,
song. Like,
yeah.
so to me, what I'm trying to figure out now is, do I need to search endlessly for multiple things, where I just spent 20 minutes trying to find 3 songs, or should I just stick to an album and listen to it all the way through?
That's interesting.
That's where
yeah.
I've
Where
been.
are we
It's
at?
like
what does that experience look like?
at work, I'm allowed to listen to music as I work, and I've gotten really excited about Apple Music because of that fact. Is like for perfect example, Tyler the Creator's new album just dropped, and I'm able to
Solid.
just sit
Yeah,
and
solid.
listen to that all the way through. Like, so I've been getting in this rhythm. Like, anytime a new album drops, I'm right there able to like listen the whole way through, just to like get an idea of like what kind of new sounds they're trying to work on and stuff like that. Yeah.
There it
I
is.
captured a cat.
Oh God.
There's
A cat
the
has
nail.
been captured.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's a good segue into, you brought Tyler the Creator. Like, what is what are we all listening to today, after we talked about the beginning a little bit of where we started musically? Like,
That's a good
For sure.
like
that's
where
nice.
are we today? Like, some of us started with classical as our background, and some of us started with rock. Like, where
Where
have
are
we
we going?
migrated to?
Where's we
Are we
going?
coming back towards our original? Like,
Yeah.
I've noticed that a bit, or are we?
It's funny that you asked that. Like, are we coming towards to what we used to? Because like when I really got into rap, the rap that I was into was the ones that were very influenced by soul and jazz and funk and stuff like that. And then we get into this 2000s bling era where it's just like heavy
worst.
bass,
No.
terrible rap,
Yeah.
rapping about grills and cars and
Exactly,
shit like
yeah.
that, which is like, it's fun
It's
for
not
the
that
moment.
That wasn't existent beforehand.
Yeah, but now we're hearing these artists like Tyler, like J. Cole, like Kendrick, like Joey Badass, guys
Like
who
childish.
guys who are
Gambo.
hitting those past vibes and bringing in a new sound
Story.
with it, and a new story with it,
I feel like it's almost like we were waiting for the people of our generation almost like
To grow up
mature and then
Yeah.
Weirdly.
start producing music
For sure.
because we grew up, of course, like when you were kids, listening to people that were older than you, and you were like, oh, I like what they're attempting to do,
Right.
but where are we trying to lead, to? Like, where are we trying
Right.
to get to? And so when we get to, like, people like, everybody that you've mentioned,
Right.
like, Childish and everything like that, we sort of have reached a point where, like, okay, I feel like I'm being represented. This is the stuff I want to listen to.
Yeah,
And
for
so
sure.
now, I still like the stuff that I, grew up with,
Yeah.
but, like, I've got this that I can, like, latch onto and then, like, explore from there.
For sure.
Yeah,
For sure.
So it's one of those things that we're experiencing right now, and it's ever evolving.
Yeah.
It's really a weird time for music,
Yeah.
and I'm interested to
is.
see where it's going to go.
Yeah.
For sure.
It is. Yeah, I can agree with that. I'm not quite sure because there's the listener and then there's also the artist too. It's like the artist. It would be difficult because there's so many outlets and you're trying to figure out just how to get your product. You're just trying to get your music, your art
Yeah.
out there to the world. But like, where do you go? Where do you focus? And like, can you? Part of it still is like you physically just have to get out there.
Yeah, yeah.
Even though music, how we listen to it, no longer is always physical. You know,
Yeah.
it's like I'm not gonna go to B-dubs and listen to like an artist like, rap or
Yeah.
do a classical shit, whatever it is.
Right,
But it's
yeah.
like it's just that it's changed.
Yeah, for
it's
sure.
very much changed.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
So we're gonna break into a rapid fire segment here really quick. Before we do that, I'm gonna start it off with our with the very first question being, if there was one artist you wanted to recommend, new or old, classical
Oh,
or
okay.
otherwise, to our viewers, who would you recommend they give a listen to?
Oh,
Just to
that's
understand you, not because you think they're the best artist of all time. They could be,
Oh,
in your
what-
opinion.
what-
But who would you suggest our artists listen to our listeners listen to
That sort
to
of
broaden their
represents
horizon?
Oh
You,
yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
One artist.
one artist.
Yeah. That's kind of
Wow,
hard.
we have to narrow it down.
That's a good
Okay.
question. That's a tough question.
And it seems like from your question, you'd want us to choose someone that like
Go
isn't
for it.
at the
Whatever.
forefront.
Doesn't
I mean,
You could
like
say One Direction. I
Oh.
don't care.
I
Back
mean,
it up.
when you said that question, that was the first thing that came
One
to mind.
Direction
And
is
honestly,
This is your time to bring it out.
Yeah.
One
Right.
Direction.
And I'm talking about the 1D right before they broke off. Like I need
Oh,
a
okay.
consolidation,
Yes,
all of
yes.
the minds working together.
You're
for
not a
it.
1D head unless you call him 1D.
I mean, honestly,
Yeah.
honestly, if you're
True
talking
fan over
1D,
here, folks.
you're
We're
talking
talking
1D.
We're talking 1D.
Like here, I'll start off.
Go for it, man. Go for it.
1D all the time.
1D is my D.
Yeah.
But in reality,
What are we talking about?
Oh, shit. Oh my God. Nala, are you hearing
Um,
this? We have a dog that has just cowered in fear from the bomb that is
I think there's a really cool alt rock revival in the band Frightened Rabbit, and it's probably my favorite band.
Man, I
I
love
like
that
Fright.
band.
nice.
There's nothing incredibly outstanding about them. They're not the next Taylor Swift, which we're all looking for the next Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
You, me, your mom,
Yeah.
me, and
I'm
your
trying
mom,
to be the
your
next
mom.
Taylor Swift.
together.
Together. My dad.
But I think there's a lot to be said in the lyrics of their songs, new and old. You can learn a lot about relationships and the emotions of growing up and living in this band.
For sure.
I think they're definitely worth a listen to.
Got me through senior year.
Yeah.
For sure.
What about you, Yanni?
God, you. I mean, I was spending this time not thinking about anything, and
What about your shirt?
I'm all of a sudden having to be thinking of something.
This is your time.
Gosh,
Just go with it, man.
you know what's on from the heart and truthfully, when I listen to music, the thing that I think about most is how it would play out as like a cinematic experience.
Oh yeah. I think about stuff like that
Have you
too.
thought about
Yeah,
that?
yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
I'm glad I'm not the only one because honestly, it's one of those things where if I listen to something and I apply, that audio to my own like mental
A situation.
a
Yeah,
situation
yeah.
or a video like or something like
Yeah,
that. I sort of just like explore that. It leads me to soundtracks.
Oh, yeah.
Truthfully,
Yeah.
like I really do like things that don't have a lot of vocals in it nowadays.
Yeah.
Even though
I can
like
agree with that.
sure, like I mean, even though you know there are certain songs with vocals that don't like detract from like the experience I'm trying to have, and I'm
Yeah.
fine with that. It's no big deal. But when I'm looking at something that I really want to listen to, I come back to like different people that make soundtracks. I really like who made the one for Dark Knight and
Hans Zimmer.
Oh, Hans
Oh,
Zimmer,
yeah.
man, he's an incredible.
right, exactly.
He's
I mean,
incredible.
the way that he can just like
It's a feeling.
pack into like every like song any sort of like feeling that you want to feel in terms of like epicness. I don't know what you want to
Yeah.
call
It's an
it.
experience. It's like an emotional kind
sure.
of coaster, man. Like he drags you through some things.
Right. And I found myself listening to songs that start off slow and then build.
Yeah.
And then reach like, a crescendo to, say a technical term. But honestly, like it's
Wow.
You're right, exactly. I'm looking for the song structure just be like a constant like upward motion. And once you like, hit that top point, maybe it just ends and leaves you hanging. I don't know. Like it's sort of just like I don't know. It's just something like
Different
primal.
about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's
for sure.
very, very different. Yeah.
He's
I don't know.
incredible.
He's a good guy.
Yeah.
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 I'd say for me, I think about for this one musician that I'm gonna pick. It's like if I was stuck in a car for 4 days traveling to Los Angeles, for example, I would probably, I'm trying to think of a band that I could listen to over and over again.
Yeah.
And this comes back to childhood for me. It's like there's a band called the Push Stars. And it's like this kind of mellow alternative. They're definitely a 90s band. Like, and it was just a good feel. There's another modern guy that I would like to throw out, but it's like if I had to listen to this guy, if I had to listen to an album for like, or listen to an artist for like 72 hours straight, I think I'd be able to listen to the Push Stars. It's just a good feel, It's like, and there is some attachment to the past too, to a degree, because that's what music is. It's still emotional. Like, there's some decision. Like, I listened to this for a reason, and the band for me would be the Push Stars. They're
Nice,
cool.
man.
It's a good feel. It is. Check them out.
I think I'm gonna try to stay a little bit more current on this one. Like someone I've been getting a lot into the last couple years, Vince Staples has been a rapper, West Coast rapper. Did a lot of stuff with like Odd Future Collective and stuff like that. He's just I feel like he's kind of like what we were talking about earlier, just like the younger generation, guys roughly our age who grew up and were like, this is the sound that I want to get back to.
Absolutely, yeah.
And he has been that way, but he's also carried along sort of like the somewhat traditional trap beats that people use too, along with his music too, and lyrically he's phenomenal. I'd put him up there close to Earl Sweatshirt and guys like that who can spit and rhyme in sequences that are very far-fetched and stuff like that.
Where is Earl?
I don't know where Earl went, man. Earl's in like Netherlands right now because he got tired of America or something. I don't know. Like, yeah, he tours in Europe a lot. But Vince is a guy who like. I like what he raps about. I like that he stays true to what he has experienced. It's not a lot about bling and shit like that. It's experiences he's dealt with, what he's seen through his eyes, society's issues, And just listening to him in interviews too, he's been someone who's tried to be someone realistic and I don't know, doesn't fall into the idea of all this other crap going on in society. You know what I mean?
That's really cool.
Yeah.
I like how you mentioned the bling aspect.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I feel like that's being phased out
Yeah.
anyway. Like,
Yeah.
it was such a...
The final
I don't know.
Yeah.
curtain call of the
It can
early
be-
2000s.
Exactly.
It can be
That's-
done-
That's basically it.
It can be done in a tasteful way, and it can be done in a tasteless way very easily. Like,
Yeah.
for instance, Tyler, the Creator, he'll rap about stuff like owning a McLaren and stuff like that, but it's sort of him less being braggy and,
More ironic.
yeah, a little bit more ironic, but also in the idea of my first couple albums, I rapped about this because I was depressed. I didn't have much. Now I'm kind of successful. It's this is me telling you that I'm okay.
Yeah, it's my story.
I'm-
It's
I'm
his
okay.
story. It's
Yeah,
his progress, for
exactly.
sure.
Stuff like that. Yeah.
For sure.
For
For
sure.
sure.
Well, I mean, we're at that kind of time, folks, where we might not necessarily have time for the rapid fire questions. So I think we're just gonna sign off here.
Yeah.
We're at our hour mark. What does everyone give a final sign off? This is Tyler.
This is Colin.
This is McKenzie.
And this is Yanni. I hope you are okay with us getting a little pretentious for a second. We really like music. It's
And
awesome.
we thank you again for tuning in to CHNC, and we will see you next week.
Peace.
Oh yeah.
Bye, guys.
Hit the